We were sitting by the pool and we saw liked by Anderson Silva on one of your reels. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they were going viral, like 33 million views. When I saw that notification pop up, I was like, damn. Anderson Silva had been watching me on Instagram.
My car was frozen. I was driving to work, I couldn't even see out the front windscreen. It's 4 a.m, everyone there is like groaning and sleep deprived and miserable.
And they were watching me on the cameras, and the guy who runs it came out and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be picking up litter. And I was like, I'm trying. Look at what you enjoy in your life. Think that if money wasn't an option or money didn't exist, then what would you do and how would you spend your time? Welcome back to episode 2 of Killing Comfort. Luca, what have you done with your week since the last pod?
Done a lot. I've done a lot of training. I've switched my training focus to bodybuilding style training to boxing, because I'm fighting later this year, so it's purely boxing now. I've been recording a lot of YouTube content, a lot of Instagram content, been speaking to a lot of people, and yeah, that's it. How about you?
So training hard.
Training very hard.
Good. Yeah, I've been doing the same. Focusing back on training, bulking up a little bit, lost too much weight. Busy with social media, producing content, and yeah, just staying on the grind pretty much.
What is that grind? What's the goal at the moment?
Well, grow my business, my coaching, in-person coaching, and grow my social medias and my YouTube. So Instagram's going well. Need to get it back, get that exposure back up, keep producing good quality content, and just go from there.
Yeah, there was a good period of time last year where you were super viral. I remember we went to Ayia Napa on like a 2-man trip, and we were sitting by the pool, and there's a UFC fighter, Anderson Silva, who I used to watch like tons of his highlight videos, and we saw liked by Anderson Silva on one of your reels. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they were going viral, like 33 million views.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I saw that notification pop up, I was like, damn, like, that's crazy. Anderson Silva has been watching me on Instagram.
Yeah, it's crazy the possibilities with social media nowadays. And that I watched a ton of his videos. He was one of the greatest of all time in the UFC, which is like the martial arts best promotion. So that was a crazy moment, and I remember thinking, wow, like the possibilities of this are very big.
Yeah, well, if I can get like noticed and I can grow, and that means anyone can.
Yeah,
100%. This podcast is going to be on purpose, and that kind of relates to what we just talked about, and finding your purpose and how it's going to affect your life. So where did you start your journey in life? Did you feel like you had a purpose?
There were many moments where I felt I had no purpose. No, I did a variety of jobs. I worked as a barista in coffee shops, and that was okay because it was quite social. You'd meet a lot of different people, and that got my social skills up, which is a very important skill. I'm sure you've seen that over the last couple of years. But then I worked in Sainsbury's, and Sainsbury's was very interesting because Sainsbury's is a supermarket in the UK. It's almost like the equivalent to like a Walmart in the US. But I did very early shifts. I would start at 4 a.m. and I'd go with a friend Dan, you know who Dan is, and I'd pick him up. And it was through winter, a lot of it. I had 2 winters when I worked at Sainsbury's. I'd get out and my car was frozen because it gets really cold in the UK. So I'd scrape off all the ice off the front of my car. I'd get in it because I was often late. I'd wake up late because I did not enjoy going to that job. So I couldn't do you know when the windscreen is like, what's it called? There's loads of condensation and you can't even see. So I was driving to work, I couldn't even see out the front windscreen. Pick up Dan, we drive towards Sainsbury's, we'd get outside. It's 4 a.m, everyone there is like groaning and sleep deprived and miserable. And then we'd go in, start our shifts, very purposeless work. Like someone can learn it in one day and it's repeated. Same thing, put items in a basket. And yeah, it's pretty soulless and it's very dark outside. And yeah, that was my first real work experience. And looking back, I'm grateful for it. It taught me hard work and getting up at a time I didn't want to, but I'm glad I'm not doing that now.
How did you feel when you were doing that sort of stuff, getting up early mornings, driving to a job you hate, and doing a job you hate? How did it make you feel?
Lost, because I don't know, you see on social media it seems like everyone else's life is perfect relationship, perfect job, all this money in countries abroad and doing great, and I'm at 4 a.m. at this place that I hate, around people that hate being there and probably don't like me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they're all older and they're seeing the younger generation come through on this job. And yeah, it was soulless. I'd say that's a word to describe it, because you're not growing, you're not learning anything in that.
So you just felt kind of lost. You felt you had no direction.
No direction, no. I was trying other businesses on the side. I tried e-commerce. I tried digital marketing, but I was so tired from that job and I didn't know what I wanted, and that all failed. So I was trying other stuff, but I was resorting to a lot of other pleasurable activities. I wrote down a quote before we started this podcast. It's from Viktor Frankl. I bought you this book, Man's Search for Meaning. I think anyone should read that book.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've read it yet.
Not yet, mate. I need to do it. I need to read it, but not
You need
yet.
to read that.
Yeah.
But the quote from Viktor Frankl, which is very powerful, it said, "When a man cannot find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure." And this was very apparent in my life at that time, because I had worked from Monday to Saturday every day from 4 a.m. till 10 a.m. So 6-hour shifts, so not that long, but your sleep pattern's all messed up. And by the time the weekend comes around, you're so just frustrated with that job, and you're looking for something exciting because your whole week's been boring, doing 40 hours of work for something you don't enjoy doing. So when the weekend rolls around, I was going out drinking, indulging in other substances around other people doing the same thing. And yeah, I think that quote sums it up. When you don't have a North Star, something to chase, a mission, you resort to comfort and pleasure. And yeah. So what about you? Did you ever have any jobs that you didn't like? I know one.
Of course. I think everyone does. Yeah, I started like flooring, basically labouring for £50 a day, and getting up early mornings. I had to be there at 7:30, and I remember one story. Well, it's not really a story, but one thing that happened at this job I hated. Got there at 7:30 in the morning. Bear in mind, I hate this job. I'm only there because it's paying me. And the people that ran the place were not the nicest people. They treat you like a piece of shit, basically. And they said, "Can I pick up some litter outside the front?" So they gave me some litter picker thing. And I'm just like, I hate this. So I picked up like a few bits through them, and then I was just basically out the front, just like doing nothing, just prodding at things, pretending to be busy. And they were watching me on the cameras, and the guy who runs it came out and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, "You're supposed to be picking up litter." And I was like, "I'm trying." And he was like, "There's litter here. And I'm just like, "Mate, like, this is awful." So started up, and when I was there, I felt absolutely like a piece of shit, like had no purpose at all. But I feel like everyone has to start somewhere. After that, basically doing cleaning fish tanks almost as a job.
Yep.
Obviously there'd be other stuff involved, making them and stuff like that, but another thing I hated doing, underpaid, overworked, and just felt like there was more to life than this.
Any funny stories from the fish tank days?
Well, I used to work with people who were quite fun, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but that kind of holds you into that thing. It's where it's bad, but it's not bad enough. There's some good parts to it, and you kind of get stuck. And when I was there, I just felt like I was in almost a hamster wheel. Wake up, do horrible work, go home, get 4 hours to chill, and then you go and do it again.
Yeah, I feel like you summed it up good there. You said bad, but not bad enough.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most dangerous place to be from what I've experienced, because I was at Sainsbury's, and although I hated the job, I was with people that I was friends with, and we had like a little social group running. And we'd like go on lunch breaks and really mock the amount of time. Like we'd stay, the lunch break was only, or the break was only meant to be 10-15 minutes. We'd stay there for half an hour, 45 minutes at that point, it's just chatting. And we had a few stories where the manager would come in and go, "What the hell are you doing?"
getting
down.
paid nothing.
Yeah, get down and put
just
items in the
being told what to do. Put the fries in the bag. Basically.
Yeah, put the fries in the bag.
Yeah, literally.
That's it. And when you're in that place of comfortable, but you don't enjoy it, but it's just comfortable enough, I feel like that's a bad place to be, because then the time can pass really quickly and you don't even realise a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Or you look around at some of the people that have worked there for decades and they really dislike, you ask them, you say, how long have you worked here? And they say, with their sigh, they're like, oh, like 15 years. Their sigh, and they're like, it hits you.
That's the name of the podcast, Killing Comfort.
Yeah.
So when you're comfortable, or comfortable but not too uncomfortable, that's when you're gonna end up just dying.
Yeah.
That's why we called the podcast Killing Comfort, because your comfort zone will kill you, and you need to get out of that and find your purpose and do something good with your life. So if I asked you, what is your definition of purpose, what would you say?
Purpose for me is, I would say it's equivalent to mission. It's like when you get up and you have things to tick off and they're important to you, and it's working towards a goal that inspires you and scares you a little bit, and it's out of your comfort zone, but you're excited to go and do it, and it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's not perfectly summarized. I probably wouldn't put that in a dictionary, but that's how I would define it off the top of my head. How would you define it?
Purpose, almost like having a feeling of fulfillment that every day you're getting up and you're working towards something to make you happy, or to give you a sense that you're doing the right thing and giving you direction, and rather than just staying in a zone or an environment you're really unhappy with because it's comfortable, or because you don't have any other options, then having purpose is like, you got to leave those places and find something that gives you fulfillment and you feel like you're working towards something.
Yeah, and I think in the modern day it's easy to be comfortable. It's easy to be like the people we just mentioned. When you ask how long they've been working at somewhere they hate, they say, oh, like 20 years. You see it in their face, like they deflate, and they realise in that moment, God, like what have I been doing?
Reality kicks in.
Yeah, reality kicks in.
They've said it out loud.
They've said it, and they've had to.
15 years have passed and they're still unhappy.
Yeah.
Because they never took the risk or the jump or found something to give them more.
Yeah, and the reason why it's easy to stay there is because the modern world, we have so many distractions and so many things that can keep you comfortable. We have social media. You can waste 2 hours easily. I do it all the time, where you go on your phone, you scroll, 2 hours have passed and you're like, what the hell, where did that time just go? Or you binge watch a series on Netflix, or you smoke weed, or you go out on the weekends and get fucked up, and you can keep repeating that cycle because that's quite exciting on the weekends. But all these distractions and instant gratification activities, they lead nowhere. They scratch that itch for a moment, but then you're back to that regular, comfortable life that's not moving you forward.
I feel like a lot of people are just living for the weekend, the majority of the population. I think 90% of men are unhappy with their current situation. They don't feel like they have a purpose. A lot of people just get through the week, go out on the weekend, do it again. And
they work to live rather than...
Yeah. No, yeah, they worked, they're just working to live for the weekend.
Yeah.
They're not living their life
every
day, doing something they enjoy. And that leads me into my point. So when you started off, you felt like you had no purpose, and what has changed, and how do you feel like you have purpose now?
Well, now that I do have purpose, is the complete opposite. I wake up and I do things that excite me. Every hour of my day is what I want to do, which I'm very grateful for. I do things, I educate people on YouTube through my content, and I really enjoy teaching. That's something I've learned. I love teaching. I coach people, whether that's personal training or boxing coaching, which you taught me how to box, so I've now monetized that skill and I do that as well. Find that really enjoyable. And then I train, I work hard, I meet with friends, I speak with friends. We're doing this podcast. This is another thing I do now, which is really cool. And
You're a podcaster, brother.
you're just a podcaster, brother. And that's my day, pretty much. Like, it feels, if I was to tell myself at 20 years old, 19, when I was at Sainsbury's, this is what your life is now that you're 23, I would have bitten your hand off. I would have said no way. But through pushing through this discomfort and repeated failures, and through being resilient, now that I've built a life where I'm like excited to get up every day, which is what I think everyone wants that. And
Yeah.
how
Sure.
about you?
What?
How is your life different now when you were back at the flooring company or cleaning fish tanks? That person, how does your life differ from what you were doing then?
Well, now, as you said, you wake up every morning almost excited. I don't wake up and I'm like, oh, I actually have to go and do this right now. Or I don't wake up rushing. I'm able to choose what I do with my day. If I don't feel like working, I don't actually have to work, but obviously I will work.
Yeah.
But I can choose what times I work. I can choose what I do each day. I'm working towards a specific goal, and that just gives me freedom. I feel like that's super important. So I feel like I've gained freedom, I've gained purpose, helping people, and just mentally overall you feel great.
Yeah.
I go to bed every night and I'm not thinking about the next day. I'm just thinking, right, today was a really productive day, it's going to help me get where I need to go, and I just enjoy the moment. Wake up the next day and I'm looking forward to doing it because it's something I enjoy.
I like what you said, you're like in the moment. You're not thinking,
when
this ends, then I'll do this. You're just doing it the whole day.
I'm not. I used to pretty much, Monday would come around and I'd just be waiting for the weekend and just getting through it.
To then go and enjoy. To Friday.
Through it. Now I don't. Now every day could be a weekend if I wanted it to, and I'm just living and enjoying what I do, which is a great feeling. And I wish that every one of you watching this could experience that.
Yeah.
And because there's nothing better than enjoying what you do for a job.
Yeah, I couldn't put it more perfectly than that. When you get up and you're truly like, any day anything could happen. You could start working with a new person, like something you upload on the internet could do really well. Like there's always this weekend excitement that could be today.
Yeah, one thing I find really great about working for yourself, and obviously if you stayed at Sainsbury's and it was something you enjoyed and you're happy there, then great, you found your purpose there. But we both knew we had bigger things than that. So one thing that I always wanted to do was work for myself. And once I did that, I realised that the more work I put in, the more I get out of it. So if I work harder, I'm going to get more money. If I work harder, I'm going to get more exposure. I'm going to build myself. Whereas at my old job, if I worked harder and cleaned every fish tank in the world in that one day, I'd still get the same pay.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any more. I might get a thank you. I might get told, oh, you can leave an hour early on Friday.
Yeah.
Or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But when you really do something for yourself, the inputs you put in are going to give you the outputs that you deserve.
And you build skills, and those skills stack over time.
Yeah.
So in repetitive jobs, so Sainsbury's or you cleaning fish tank, it's the same thing over and over and over again. You learn the skill day 1, 2, okay, you can do the job now. With our jobs, you got to learn so many things. You got to learn marketing through social media. You got to learn communication skills with clients when you're with them, making them happy, and service, delivering a good service for them. You got to learn selling your services as well, which is another skill. Then you got to learn leadership and leading other people and leading yourself, because if you're not in a good place, then your business is messed up. There's been so many places where my mental health has been non-existent and business is trash.
Yeah, I've had days where I'm literally like, I've got a session in 5 minutes, and I'm literally having a breakdown about something, and I've got to then sort myself out and get in that mind frame to go and then do something with someone and put on a good face and pretend that everything's great. But that's part of what comes with it. It's going to be uncomfortable. At my old job, you could probably just
call in sick.
just say, yeah, I'm not coming in. But if I don't go in, I'm not going to get paid. If
Yeah.
I don't do this, I'm not going to get paid. It's all on you. And I actually enjoy that aspect of it, that I don't have to rely on anyone else. I am where I am, or my business is where it is, or anything like that, because of the work I put in.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it, is you're exactly where you're meant to be in business. You can't say, oh, I should have been here, this guy got lucky, it's not happening for me. No, it's all down on you. It's all your responsibility. It's a true self-accountability business, because it's just measured by a number in, finances, and it's also your satisfaction that you get from it as well, like those two things combined. And yeah, I feel like you can, in this day and age, we're so lucky to be able to monetize things like we're passionate about. So for you, it's your boxing, and on social media. For me, helping people lose weight, and I can do that on social media, make educational content, and whatever you love and enjoy, you can make content around it, and build a business from that.
Doesn't all have to be about business, though.
No.
There are other things in life that can help you find purpose. We've both, in the maybe last year or year and a half, both had experience with this. My personal experience with finding purpose outside of business was when I did my boxing match.
I wanted to ask you about that. So I remember you told me, you said it was one of the most purpose-filled, or one of the best times in your life, you told me.
Yeah.
So what was the mindset you were in when you were training for that boxing fight?
Well, I think one of the main things with purpose, as I said, is you need a goal and a plan. And I had the goal, I had a plan, so I had something to work towards. And because I felt like I had a purpose of my job for this next year is to train for this. I wasn't like, I don't know what I'm doing. My job was this, I need to do this, I need to win.
Yeah.
And every day you're working towards that, you're motivated. Of course you're disciplined, but you're more motivated because you know that's what I need, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And I went through one of the worst times in my life during that.
I remember.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, like, if I was going through like the worst time in my life during this boxing camp, and because I was so locked in and I had greater purpose outside of that, and that being my identity, I just stuck to it. I had a goal. I couldn't let anything get in the way. No, definitely not. And if anything, it pushed me harder. So
yeah,
I was even more locked in. Yeah.
Whereas if you didn't have that goal, maybe it would have done the opposite. You would have
folded, downward spiral. Probably just start not turning up for work, not turning up to training. But I had the goal, I had the purpose.
Yeah, and I had a thought.
That's good.
And how did you feel once that was done? Once you won the fight?
Yeah.
You did very well. You were very fast. You were very quick. You were on point. You were landing combinations. And the fight finished. What changed after the fight?
That is a good question. To be honest, then I felt a lack of purpose.
Really?
Yeah. So
how long after that would you say you felt a lack of purpose?
Probably maybe 2 weeks after. Obviously the high wears off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I felt a lack of purpose. I was like, what do I do now? And that's when I just went into business and growing that more. But it's always good to have a goal. That gave me purpose. And without it, I felt lost. I felt almost like I was back on my old job. For you, what was your thing that gave you purpose outside of business?
Yeah, physical endeavour. So I just did a bodybuilding show that you were at. And so it was the end of last year. I was doing a bulk, and I was eating not that clean to hit my calorie goal. And I was indulging in a lot of other pleasurable things like weed and social media. My life was just a mess. Business was not going well. And I was a coach in helping people lose fat, and I was bulked up and a bloat lord. Shay Max would say that, this guy on social media. But yeah, I did not feel good about myself. I didn't look in the mirror and think, yeah, like I'm confident. Like I wasn't excited to do all the things that we just mentioned that brought purpose earlier. So I went on this mission to do a bodybuilding show, which is basically where you get to such a low body fat percentage and deplete yourself, and towards the end it gets really rough. So the first 3 months were good, get rid of 15 kilos, and then the last 5 kilos is where you go from like, okay, 15% body fat to 10 or just below 10. Some bodybuilders go to like 5%, but even for me, that's really low, 10%. You're eating 1,400 calories, 1,200 calories a day sometimes, 15,000 steps, and an hour of cardio every day. So it's suffering 24/7. All you can think about is food. However, what I would say is I was very happy during that time. Although I was suffering, I was extremely happy. I'm getting like goosebumps just saying
Why
it.
do you feel like you were so happy?
Because I had that thing I was aiming for. I was on the treadmill. I would go on the treadmill. I would visualize, okay, I'm going to be on that stage. And I'm like visualizing the end goal. And I feel like everything was directed towards some destination. And that's why I could handle all of those things. And that's what Viktor Frankl talked about in that book. The book basically discusses him and a lot of the other people going through the camps in World War II and all the horrors of that. And he said the ones who had a purpose and a meaning to get through it, so their family back home or whatever it was, they managed to suffer a lot more when they had that purpose behind it. But the ones who had nothing, or they felt like they had nothing to fight for, they would die a lot quicker.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so for me, I was able to endure that suffering because I knew I'd be on that stage, and I knew it would be in front of other people, and if I didn't get towards that goal, there was a lot of social pressure, and that was the same for you. You'd be fighting in front of other people, but most importantly, it's for you. You want to know you've done your best. So yeah,
Nice. So you found your purpose through obviously business and bodybuilding. You had a goal.
Yeah.
Now after that bodybuilding show, you feel like you've still got a purpose?
Yes, because now through that bodybuilding show, I was documenting it. I was uploading educational content, and my YouTube's starting to do really well. So things have momentum now, and I'm signing clients to my business, and I have a sense of, okay, things are going well, things are moving forward, and I feel like that's all a man wants, is for things to be improving in whatever area, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationship wise, whatever it is. You want things to be moving in a positive direction. I feel like things are. So yeah, I feel good, and I've got this other goal now. I'm going to be fighting later this year, so that's another thing that I'm visualizing now.
So you would say that from before, where you felt like you had no purpose, to where you are now, it definitely makes a big difference.
It's everything.
Yeah, I'd
It's
agree.
2 different lives.
So for people watching at home,
Yeah.
if you feel like you don't have a purpose, if they feel like they don't have a purpose, my bit of advice for them would definitely be to look at what you enjoy in your life. If you have any hobbies, skills, anything like that you're good at, and think that if money wasn't an option or money didn't exist, then what would you do and how would you spend your time? Because that is going to leave you feeling fulfilled. It's going to help you find your purpose. If money wasn't an option, or if money didn't exist, what would you spend your time doing?
I told you this earlier. I said I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing now, but in a more hot climate, maybe a Thailand or Bali or Italy or Spain or Australia, somewhere like that.
Killing Comfort Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
Yes.
We're going to bring the podcast to Thailand one day. We'll get a good setup.
100%.
And that will be the next goal. But yeah, how about you?
I too would probably do exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Training people, probably wouldn't do it as much. Get rid of a few of them.
Yeah.
But no, I'm joking. But I'd probably do exactly that. And I said to you earlier what I would do. I would probably work in a zoo.
Yeah.
Or if we do go to Thailand, somewhere like working with elephants.
Yeah.
Training people boxing, training myself,
That'd
and
be
then
sick.
chilling with the elephants.
Chilling with the elephants.
If I didn't have to make money, that's what I'd spend my time doing. I think
Wow.
animals are better than people.
Yeah.
They're always loyal, and
Yeah, they're always loyal.
they are.
Yes, human
And they-
beings.
they always
are
love-
not so loyal.
It's not necessarily that. It's just human beings. Just they're
Well,
very-
we're all self. We all
it's
want
very
the best
selfish.
for ourselves. Yeah.
animals just care. They're just happy to see you, and that's probably what I'd spend my time doing.
Yeah. Well, I love that, and we can make it reality.
We will.
And my advice for someone who is struggling with purpose is don't be afraid to fail. I've failed so many times. I've done so many embarrassing things. I look back at my old content and think, oh my God, like, I wonder how other people might have perceived that. But now it's got to a place where it's going really well. And it's persistence and resilience and just pushing through those times where you feel like it's hopeless, because there's been so many of those times for me and for you. I've seen them in person. We've seen each other at not only our highest moments but our lowest moments as well. And it's really important that you don't give up, because like you said, you only fail if you give up. So
Yeah.
you can never quit, and do what your heart calls you to do. If you have an idea, follow through. Life is short. You only have a very limited time on this earth, so
Yeah.
you got to squeeze the lemon for all it is.
You only have about 75 summers if you're lucky, and
Yeah.
you can't spend them doing something that you're not passionate about or that you don't enjoy. So
Yes.
that is my one bit of wisdom, or my one bit of advice that I would drop at the end of this podcast.
Yeah. And I forgot all the summers from 0 to 10, so maybe it's only 65 summers. So
Yeah.
maybe it's even less.
Even less.
You got such a short period of time. Find what you love. Life is short. Be around people that you love as well, and don't give up.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that's a great way to wrap up the podcast.
Yeah.
Guys, if you enjoyed, drop a subscribe, and we will see you in episode 3.
See you in episode 3.